I was debating if I even want to make this video. It's literally 111 on the dot. And today is February 2nd, 2022. And I have to explain what has been happening to me, because if somebody else is going through this, yeah, you're gonna feel like death. That's the only way I can explain. And if I were to have never had kids before, and if I were to not had basically my, it's so emotional. Still 111, dang. And if I wouldn't have had basically what I would say a doula or my ancestors like whispering into my ear that it was going to be okay, like I almost called 911 because I thought I was dying, and it was just literally detoxing. I haven't had anything but water, broth, tea, and I've had about 4 ounces of ginger ale a day, no joke, because I don't want that much like sugar into my system. So the first couple days of detoxing was cool, you're just like, whatever. And I had been trying to do a detox forever, and now I'm learning that you don't need to force anything in your life, because everything that you need will come naturally. And this fast just came naturally. Like, I woke up and was like, oh, and I didn't think anything of it until the whole day went by. It was probably over 12 hours. I was like, oh, I haven't ate all day, so I might as well just go on a fast. And then it just went from there. And then yesterday I started to feel super sick, and I had these pains that were right here. So I thought that was weird, having a pain right there. And I even told someone, I was like, hey, if you see me sleep on a couch, for multiple days, it's because I'm just feeling super weird. And I told everyone, I was like, I'm not sick, because I don't want to subscribe to that, but I'm feeling off. And I didn't understand what was going on. So it was last night, man, I started to get this pain in my back. And the pain, within 30 minutes, felt like I was in full-blown labor, about to give birth to a child, like back labor. And I was crying, so I got myself in a really hot Epsom salt bath with some lavender, and I was just trying to breathe it out, listening to some, relaxing music or whatever, and it was just really cute. It was, I was really trying to just make myself feel better. So after I got done with that bath, I came out, got on some pajamas and was just trying to relax, and I could not take the pain. I was in fetal position on the couch, just crying, God help me, because I ain't never felt this before, and I'm definitely not having a baby. So a couple hours go by, and the pain starts to move up my back. And I'm like, what in the heck? So now it's at like what I would say, so it went from basically root to heart chakra. And my chest was hurting so bad. And I had been having like a little rumble and everything, and now it feels a lot more cleared up today. But when that started hurting, and then it felt like I was having an anxiety attack. So your girl gets back into the shower, tries to calm down, and then I, again, put on some music. Now this is where I just have to throw this in, because as I'm relaxing, listening to my music, the music cuts off, and I'm like, how would my music cut off if I'm the only person here? And a lot of weird things have been happening these last couple of days, like seeing huge flashes out the corner of my eye, things being moved, but I'm very aware that the spiritual realm is real, so like that stuff doesn't scare me or anything. So it was just funny that, the heart chakra was hurting. I'm in the bathtub, the song stops, and then immediately plays a different song. So I didn't even think about like, getting out and trying to like fix it or whatever, because before I could even know it happened, like, because it stopped in the middle of a song and then started playing a different one. And it was crazy, because I was thinking about this person in my head, and then it was like my brain turned them on. And the song was called Missing You. We'll say that. And so I was like, that's crazy. I was just thinking about you, and then this song comes on. So, like, I started crying because I have a connection with this person. I can't explain it to you. I have to make a twin flame video. I really do, but I don't want to call it a twin flame because I believe that the new age people talk about twin flames, which are not healthy at all. They believe you should be wrapped up in some person that's abusive and condescending, codependent, and all that other stuff. No. Then there's you got soulmates, which every single one of you guys are my soulmates, so. And then you have a twin soul. And yeah, we'll get into that later. But so that happens, and it made me feel better. After that song came on, I started singing it. You know, I got up out the bathtub, I started taking a shower because I felt good. I was like, oh, okay, sure, you know you're good. Change my clothes, lay down again, start watching, I think, something, because I'm trying to get back to my inner child self at this point because that's the only thing I can think of. And I made some soup late last night because it was warm, and it was like I had the chills or whatever. So then after I was like eating my soup and whatnot, the pain moved up to my throat. And I'm just having like the worst time. I'm yelling throughout the house. I am crying profusely. And I almost thought about calling 911 on myself because that's all I can think of. So the back of my neck hurt so bad. It was like somebody came up and just like, and it was just like, my ears were ringing, and it was just awful. But the more that I fought through this, the worse it was. So finally I was like, clearly nothing is working. So just sit here, just lay. So I put a pallet out on the floor, and I laid there. And I just basically prayed until I fell asleep. This morning I wake up and I'm like, what happened last night? Because that was some crazy stuff. The cat was like right next to me the whole time. If it wasn't, curled up here with me, it was on top of my head. So even the cat knew that something is happening. And yeah, I woke up this morning, I was like, this is crazy. I feel so, like, whenever I woke up, I was like, am I still here? Do I have any more pain? And today I'm actually pain-free, but I am tired. I'm not gonna lie, I'm freaking exhausted. Very. But as I went to sleep, what I noticed is, I didn't even put on, like, no bra, nothing like that. I'm trying to be free as a bird out here. I'm wearing this shirt, and it's soaked. It is completely just, girl, I haven't changed yet. I'm about to get in the shower. But I woke up this morning and the shirt was soaking wet. Basically everything was. My blankets were soaking wet. My pillow was soaking wet. My hair, everything was just like so. And it smelled like whenever I got up off the pallet on the floor, I was like, ooh, I gotta do laundry. I gotta wash my clothes. I gotta wash my blankets. I gotta wash me. So then, somebody texts me and they're like, hey, are you doing all right? Do you need anything? And I'm like, actually, no, today I feel a lot better. Oh, and I wasn't going to lie to nobody. I felt so bad. I was like, I took 600 milligrams of the clear-coated ibuprofen. I didn't know what to do, y'all. I'd been chewing on ginger all day. Just anything to try to help. And you guys know that ginger is a natural energy booster. Let me just put a side note in there. One time I was making my tea, and I like to cut up fresh ginger and put it in the water while it's boiling so that it like lets out and it infuses into the drink. I also add, lemon and cinnamon. That's like my main tea before I even put a tea bag in. Is always lime, ginger, cinnamon. And one day I drank my tea and I decided to like pull a piece out and chew on it. And within 30 seconds, it was like my eyes went, I was like, oh my God. So I was like, I feel so good right now. It felt like a shot of some type of drug. So I immediately went to Google and was like, does ginger give you energy? Because I just chewed this ginger that's been soaking in a tea bag in hot water. And ginger is spicy. But the internet did say ginger will give you energy, and I've definitely noticed, forget coffee in the morning, forget an energy drink, none of that. Go boil some ginger and chew on it, and I promise you, your life will be a lot different. And it's funny because I think ginger, and then I think ginseng, and I'm like, you really try to get us with that one. But yeah, now I feel great. The moral of the story is I can't be the only one going through this. There's no way. Other people have been like, oh my god, it sounds like you have COVID. I'm like, please don't wish that on me. Don't say stuff like that to me. I just know that, what was it? Probably it just kind of like clicked in my head. Because then I don't even know how to explain. Because it was, do you say metaphysical? The experience was out of this world. And it wasn't like, I clearly made it through, so it wasn't awful. But it wasn't the best, especially since I was alone. I didn't have anybody here to like say or do anything or like help me stay grounded. I was literally at a point of whenever I finally just laid on the ground like that, I thought that, excuse me, when I laid on the ground, I thought, like, I felt so bad. I was like, if I die, at least it would be more peaceful than whatever is going on now. It was so weird. And then, while all this is going on, besides just last night, when I tell you the events that led up to this, was like every nasty old memory that ever happened to me had came up. So then this morning I was like, you know what that reminds me of? Like the very beginning of my spiritual awakening. So I googled Kundalini Awakening, and whenever I tell you it felt like the serpent went up my fucking spine. Yeah. So I still got it in the Google, my search stuff right now. So my roommate finally like gets home. He's like, "Are you good? Are you okay?" So I told him the story of what happened before adding in any Kundalini shit like that, because they were also the one that's like, maybe it's COVID, and I'm like, no. But not everybody's in the same mindset, so I just whatever. And then he goes, "You know what? It sounds like the serpent got you." So it just made me really like connect. Oh, at least his subconscious knew what was going on. And then I told him, I was like, yeah, and like whenever I woke up, I was sweating. I was like, oh, here. I was like, take a whiff, because I'm still wearing this shirt. And so he smells it, and he's like, oh my god. He's like, what is that? Like, it's a smell. I wish that I could give you guys the smell through the phone, because it doesn't it doesn't smell like anything I've ever smelled before. It smells like a straight toxin, chemical, awful, disgusting, just So yeah, I really do need to take a shower, and I'm having deja vu. So that's really, really weird. But if anybody is feeling sick and under the weather, that doesn't mean that you have COVID. It could mean that you're having a spiritual awakening, a very hardcore one, again, because you have many of them throughout your lives. But yeah, stay vigilant out there, y'all. I think I've said like a million times.